So, you like secrets, deeply buried lore, ciphers, knowledge-gated progression? Well, then here's a handful of upcoming games that should satisfy that epiphanist in you. Games that promise to contain big, juicy secrets to dig into. Even more than others, games of this sort are really best experienced knowing just about nothing about them when going into them for the first time, so don't worry, I won't be spoiling anything in this video. All the footage is either from very early game demos or from their official trailers, and even then I edited out some things I felt you should discover for yourselves. So let's do this, in no particular order. We'll begin with Pony Island 2, a meta masterpiece in the making like only Daniel Mullins can create. Best known as the developer of Inscryption, all of his games are magnificent. The first Pony Island also has one of the most memorably horrifying moments I've ever experienced in a video game, which I will obviously not spoil for you, so go ahead and play that in order to understand just why this sequel is so exciting. But if you've played any of his games, then you know what you're getting yourself into. He's one of the few developers whose new releases I will drop anything to play. Expect to get your mind blown. Expect very creative trolls. Expect multiple genres and graphical styles coalescing into a singular transcendent package of meta-mystery, unfiction revelation, logic puzzles, and action. We know there will be secrets. There will almost certainly be ARG elements and fourth wall breaking shenanigans that make you think you're losing your mind. One moment we'll be sinking putts on a 2D green, the next we'll be hacking the very fabric of reality. It's going to be fantastic. Pony Island 2 Panda Circus is a phantasmagorical voyage through time, myth, divinity, and video games. This is not a game about ponies. The vibes, the dungeon crawling, immaculately immersive vibes. Look at that texture. I can feel it, damp and rough under my fingers. I can smell it, like petrichor and seafoam and dirt. I can taste it, and it tastes good. This gritty, textured art style, and especially creature design, reminds me of Vermis, while the color palette definitely evokes the work of Team Eco, whose next game I'm also very much anticipating, but we barely know anything about that one yet. While I have not yet begun
to defile myself.
the recently released Verho, though I do plan on playing that soon, the last dungeon crawler that really pulled me in was the equally vibe-heavy Lunacid by Akuma Kira, which happened to be one of my favorite gaming experiences of the past 5 years. However, despite that game's obvious focus on exploration and vibes, the one aspect I felt could be improved upon was the difficulty, and it looks like Queen's Domain is shaping up to be an experience that will pull no punches. The demo is incredible. It starts challenging, invites you to explore this strange new world, but it ends way too soon. Even though it's on the shorter side, it does still contain some secrets. It remains to be seen, though, whether or not it will contain any crazy Lunacid-style secrets. Nevertheless, first-person dungeon crawlers have the capacity to pull me in deeper and immerse me more than any other genre of game. So I can't wait to wander the expanse of this tangled world, drenched in texture, uncovering secret rooms, hidden delicacies, and forgotten treasures while flying through the sky with a magical sword. All this, plus long before I learned about most of these other games, Monolith has stood at the top of my wish list. I played the demo for 10 hours straight the other day in a fever state of joyful exploration and experimentation. That experience is exactly what inspired me to make this video. Yes, I am a madman, as evidenced by some of the things I do in other games, but the fact that this small demo kept me so thoroughly engaged for all that time is a testament to the amazing experience that Just Cam H is cooking up. So, What is Nonolith? At its core, Nonolith is a knowledge-gated exploration platformer, or Metroidvania, where you can copy and paste parts of its world in order to progress. But it is much, much more than even that. Overflowing with mystery, this game absolutely radiates Void Stranger, Animal Well, and Fez vibes. It's a sandboxy platformer teeming with cellular automata, kind of like a secret-filled, block-based, spellcrafting game of life. What does that even mean? Well, I'm trying real hard not to show too much in this video, so I'll continue to be cryptic by saying, there is magic in these walls. You have been trapped inside the Nonolith, a living structure where untold secrets are hidden in plain sight. Every piece of the world can be moved, rotated, and destroyed. Use this immense power to reach areas you previously thought to be unreachable. Build bridges, dig tunnels, and create your own path to unravel the secrets of the 9 worlds within. The Nonolith consumes you. Speaking of consuming, first-person dungeon crawlers, one of my absolute favorite video game genres. Let's take one and combine it with Metroidvania-style progression, survival elements, and 3-player co-op. It's almost like Dungeon Meshi mashed together with Abiotic Factor. I have very particular tastes when it comes to dungeons. I'm constantly craving that perfect dungeon crawling experience, but there are very few games that have ever come close to satisfying that in me. Behold Studios, though, look like they're crafting one that just might. One where making incremental progress through puzzles, mysterious tombs, subterranean rivers, and the ancient remains of a past civilization is paramount. This is a game where you're more of an explorer than a plundering warrior. One where your upgradable camp and the many nourishing foods you can cook there is of utmost importance. Those foods you prepare might be exactly what grant you the abilities you need to progress. The developers have stressed that this is a living place full of culture and secrets, originally built by one civilization before being repurposed by another, littered by the remnants of adventurers who have come before you. It's a sacred place, deserving of respect, similar perhaps to something like the Eternal Ruins, and I can't wait to deep dive this dungeon's mysteries together with some good friends when it finally releases. Take your time to investigate every shadow, solve every puzzle, and open every door. The dungeon will reveal its secrets only if you are patient and persistent. Learn how to defeat enemies with diverse behaviors, discover coveted treasures, and never take a hint for granted. And you can fish. Look, I love fishing minigames. I know some people don't, but I do. I completely believe that they can be an improvement to just about any game if done right. Noita? If there was a random friendly Hisi who gave me fishing quests in return for spells, that would only make the game even more perfect. I would love it. And the Stardew Valley style of fishing is my personal favorite. What if there was a game that combined that style of fishing with cosmic horror and meta-narrative? No, I'm not world premiering a sequel to Dredge. Instead, we'd get normal fishing. Which, surprise, surprise, is not just a normal fishing game. Husband! I highly recommend you check out the demo for this one. It's one of the best paced demos I've played in my entire life. Although the skill-based fishing alone is tons of fun, especially when you factor in the sheer variety of these challenges, there's much more going on here than you initially might think. Much more. Saying anything else would come too close to spoiling the experience. Normal fishing is a completely and utterly unremarkable fishing experience where everything goes exactly as expected. Don't touch the water. Stay away from the lake. This isn't what you think. Yes, It's the nuke parry game, we all know. But other than that, which understandably made it go completely viral a couple years ago, VA Proxy is so much more. It takes place in one of the most intriguing megastructure environments I have had the pleasure of spending some time in. Over 100 hours so far in the demo. The sense of scale is immeasurable. It's swarming with hidden places to find, and each of these hidden places itself is enormous. You might find an entire robotic city at the end of a tunnel hidden behind a rock in some far corner of the world. The parry-focused, combo-based combat allows you to do some extremely creative things as an expression of your skill, but it's really the exploration as we seep into the cracks of this colossal machine, unearthing lore, that deep, hidden lore that makes this world dig its robotic claws into me. Not only will there be many optional places to discover, there's also quite a bit of optional lore to solve. As time passed, the once enduring megastructure began to rot from the inside out. The dwellers of this world began to follow suit, while a scant handful managed to keep their sanity. Everywhere across this massive world, you'll find an abundance of mechanized life in every shape and size. Some friendly, some not so much. If you thought the creatures in other games could get large, well, entirely non-violent, this open-world platformer is set on a mystical island shrouded in mystery and filled with a large variety of flora and fauna. Naturally, Emuram is similar to Animal Well in many ways. Even just the demo has such an impressively deep series of secrets for you to discover that it also reminds me very much of Environmental Station Alpha's out-of-bounds style post-game. There are secrets on top of secrets hidden in plain sight. As you explore the island, you'll use your scanner to document the many Emuram around you, helping you to maneuver through the world and solve puzzles both obvious and obscure. The beam of your scanner can also be used to reveal the many hidden passages as well. Like Nonolith, Emuram might appear simple at first glance because of its retro graphics, and just like that game, it is anything but. It was developed on a fantasy console called the TIC-80 in order to impose strict limitations on what the developer could or could not do, just like the original version of Celeste for the Pico 8. These limitations allowed him to get very creative in other ways. Trust me when I say, if you enjoy secrets, this game is going to be one of the absolute best. And if you're someone who enjoys reading the bestiaries in games to learn more about the creatures you encounter, you'll also love that about this game because that's one of its main gameplay elements. And it apparently is almost finished, so you might actually be playing it by the end of this year or early next. Document an ancient paradise before it's lost forever. Study the behavior of the Emuram creatures and use the gained knowledge to create new paths forward. Slowly, the machinations of the mythic forest sprites begin to unfold. The Looter is a post-apocalyptic, open-world survival platformer with looting mechanics that look like they come straight out of an extraction shooter like Tarkov. This game has been in development for over 8 years now, but it finally seems to be approaching completion with a playable demo coming early in 2026. Why am I so excited for this game? I'll give you 2 reasons. 1. I've actually really grown to enjoy the extraction shooter gameplay loop of wandering around a large, hyper-dangerous environment, picking up every bit of scrap garbo that's not nailed down in order to use it for crafting and upgrading. Add to that the chance to find super rare or hidden artifacts, and we have a recipe for a happy me. Maybe a happy you? 2. One of the best games I played earlier this year, which I have not yet finished, is a very little known, very hidden gem called Full Quiet. A modern game made to run on the original Nintendo. Despite that harsh limitation, the game absolutely slays. It's a complex, insanely difficult, open-world retro masterpiece. The looter reminds me very much of Full Quiet's basic gameplay, except instead of ham radio and Morse code puzzles, we have copious amounts of loot and crafting. But what they do have in common is a large open world filled with secrets and nightmarish mutants that want to eat you. Navigate the vast, somber landscape of Totora, search overgrown ruins, deserted bunkers, and empty bases to uncover valuable loot. Be perceptive to uncover every secret the world keeps from you. Unearth lore, find hidden places, and discover artifacts that will aid your journey. Uncovering hidden secrets is key to survival. Directly inspired by the light exploration puzzles of Nit and the deeper secret hunting in games like Tunic and Animal Well, Monomoon is a Metroidvania that combines platforming with point-and-click adventure. Despite the fact that Metroidvanias, or whatever you want to call them, are becoming more and more popular, thankfully, there still are very few games that come right out and say they contain layers of secrets, from simple puzzles to cryptic mysteries and hidden game mechanics. When I see those words, layers of secrets, it's like an alarm goes off in my head, like, okay, I'm yours. Those are the absolute best marketing buzzwords for somebody like me. There's sort of a holy trinity of layered secret games, Fez, Tunic, and Animal Well, and the developers of Monomoon straight up cite the last two as major influences. Will Monomoon be joining their ranks to form the Holy Quaternity? I hope so. I love this graphical style. It all looks so soft and cozy. I just want to curl up inside it, solving its puzzles and discovering its secrets. Like Animal Well, it's apparently also completely non-linear. We could just wander its world, solving things piece by piece at our own pace. In Monomoon, the way forward is reserved for the knowing and the daring. Guided by moonlight, you'll uncover hidden truths and wander through a tiny and mysterious open world. With no proper instructions, you must deduce and achieve your goals as you solve puzzles, find mysterious items, and uncover secrets hiding right under your nose. This game is about a war robot waking up, becoming sentient, and finding her siblings in a large, mysterious open world overrun by ecosystems of machines. Yes, it reminds me of Rainworld in some ways, as a mostly unguided exploration, survival, wandering sim, but in this game with more action RPG trim. The devs are using a small language model in order to give those 8 robot siblings personalities, as if they are real robots just waking up into sentience and using language for the first time while learning about the world around them. I am by no means a proponent of AI in any way, especially not for use in creative endeavors and copying real human art. However, in this case, I think it's actually a really interesting use of it and seems to fit very well with this particular project. What do you think about this? Sometimes cute, sometimes nonsensical, creepy in a way. Of course it helps that the game itself looks and sounds very good, and of course the theme of ex-military robots gaining sentience is one that I've always really been interested in. I was going to show just 30 seconds of this game without commentary at the end of the video as an honorable mention, but I actually did want to talk about it a little bit. In the dev's own words, we use AI to let our robots express themselves. If a robot became alive, it wouldn't come pre-programmed with the perfect way to express its thoughts or emotions. It would have to figure it out along the way. What they say isn't always polished or logical. It's quirky, weird, funny, and sometimes unexpectedly touching. It's not a scripted, perfect dialogue. It's more like a robot trying to make sense of the world and itself in real time. For us, that's what makes AI-driven dialogue a perfect fit for the game. So there you go. Search for your past and forge your future as a creator or destroyer. Nearly 1 million robots, workers, drones, custodians, and the mysterious conductors maintain balance. Every choice leaves a trace. Restore what is broken or unravel it further. I find this game very intriguing. Now, this last one's a bit of a wild card, but that's right. If you didn't know, Hampuli, creator of Baba Is You and one of the developers of Noita, has been working on the sequel to one of the best secret-filled Metroidvanias of all time. He's been working on it for a while now, too. Although it is still quite early, the game doesn't even have a Steam page or any kind of a trailer yet. I'm just using videos he's posted to his Discord and some footage from his dev streams here. Thus, wildcard. However, it absolutely had to go on my list because it is one of my most anticipated games. If you haven't played ESA 1 and again you enjoy deep rabbit holes of secrets, go and do that.
Do it.
Here's a little story. Most people out there these days know me from Noita. Some of you may be Animal Well or Blueprints, but most Noita. If it wasn't for ESA, then, well, I've always been into making things in games, levels, maps, etc. I've always been into secrets. When Terraria came out, I started building these crazy things in it and making videos of those. That's how I became a content creator. Eventually, I started doing Let's Plays of Terraria adventure maps. There was one called Red Hat Castle by an individual named Feisty Gandhi. It's this huge Metroidvania map with insane secrets and multiple endings. One day, I asked Gandhi, "How did you come up with all this? It's incredible." And Gandhi replied, "I was very influenced by a dev named Hampuli and his game Environmental Station Alpha." So obviously, I then played ESA and absolutely fell in love with it. After my obsession, I looked online to see what else Hampuli was working on, and that's when I discovered that Noita was in development. This was around 2018 or so. And that is how we're all here right now, because of that. And that is why I am so much looking forward to ESA 2. The first game has one of the biggest post-game vision quests into the obscure that exists in the medium. So to say that I'm excited for ESA 2 is honestly vastly missing the point. Anyway, now for some honorable mentions. Last but not least, a little bit of a bonus one, or two, or three, because I'm cheating. I am a huge La-Mulana fan. They're my favorite Metroidvanias of all time. The developers at Nagoro are reportedly working on 3 different games right now. One of those was officially announced a while back as Ahamkara, but we still don't know anything at all about it, even what type of game it is. Another one is most likely their remake of the 1987 Maze of Galious, which is the footage that you're seeing in the background. And the third is currently completely unknown. Naramura has said in the past that they likely won't be making a La-Mulana 3, sadly, but anything by them is still exciting, especially if it's in a similar secret-filled Metroidvania style, which Maze of Galious at least is. It's the game that originally inspired La-Mulana, so I definitely expect them to still be working on this, of course if Konami so wishes. You see, Maze of Galious is a Konami game. They ran a contest a few years ago asking developers to prototype some of their old properties, and Nagoro won this contest with their prototype of Maze of Galious. So apparently this victory granted them Konami's permission to develop it into a full game, but only time will tell. Hopefully we hear anything about any of this sometime soon. And for now, there you go. There's my list of games I'm very excited about that I think you should be very excited about if you're as obsessed with secrets as I am. And please, by all means, if you know of any upcoming games that are probably going to be filled with secrets or knowledge-gated aspects that you're excited about and are not on my list but should be, please let me and everyone else know down below in the comments. Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. For now, have a nice day. Thank you for watching.
Just as simple as that.
I also really need to thank my Patreon supporters and channel members. Times are tough. This video took way too long to get out, but here it is. And you guys always help me with everything. Thank you so much. All right, have a great day. See ya.